Hare Krishna, welcome to Morning Amrut Vani program on this auspicious Ekadashi day. It is Rupavilas Prabhuji will be giving his transcendental words of wisdom. His Grace Ram Kripa Prabhuji will be reading the Namamrita and Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit. Bhakti and Rashmi Mitra Mataji will be reading the Prabhupada quote. Her Grace Rupavati Radha Mataji will be reciting the slokas. Welcome to everyone once again. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhudanvat Pranam. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki jai. His Holiness Bhakti Ashraya Vaishnava Swami Maharaj ki jai. His Grace Shiksha Guru Rupavilas Prabhu ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ananta ki jai. Sri Ramamrita. Devas and ghosts are vanquished by the holy name. The devotees of the Lord, because of manifesting godly qualities, he is called a demigod, whereas the atheist is called a demon. The demon cannot stand the presence of Vishnu, the personality of Godhead. The devils are always busy in trying to vanquish the personality of Godhead, but factually, as soon as the personality of Godhead appears by either his transcendental name, form, attributes, pastimes, paraphernalia, or variegatedness, the devil at, is at once vanquished. It is said that ghosts cannot remain as soon as the holy name of the Lord is chanted. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.19.34. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mitra Mataji.
Read Prabhupada quote.
Hare Krishna, December 16th. One can take service from a particular type of well for a particular purpose, but if he goes to the ever flowing river, all water purposes will be served there. So if you take to Krishna consciousness, then all the purposes of different types of wells is served in the ever flowing river of Krishna consciousness. Los Angeles, December 16, 1968. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. Chapter 6. An Unknown Friend. Let the sharp moralists accuse me of being illusioned. I do not mind. Expert in Vedic activities may slander me as being misled. Friends and relatives may call me frustrated. My brothers may call me a fool. The other wealthy minorities may point me out as mad, and the learned philosophers may assert that I am too much proud. Still, my mind does not budge an inch from the determination to serve the lotus feet of Govinda, though I am unable to do it. Madhavendra Puri, Sri Madhavendra Puri. Aside from his difficulties with the business and family, Abhay had to survive the cataclysm of Indian independence and partition. He was not active politically, but was one of hundreds of millions affected by the violence dawn of Indian independence. While Gandhi and the Hindu-dominated Congress were demanding a united free India. The Muslim League led by M.A. Jinnah called for partition and their own Muslim nation, Pakistan. The conflict raised. In August 1946, the outgoing British government invited Jawaharlal Nehru, Congress Party president, to form an interim national government, but the League objected. The Muslim cause could be denied. Jinnah had already declared August 16 Direct Action Day, which amounted to little in most part of India, but the Calcutta erupted in Hindu-Muslim rioting. In 5 days of violence, 4,000 died and thousands more were wounded. In months that followed, Hindu-Muslim rioting repeatedly flared up throughout India. Hare
Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam. Bhagavad Gita 16.13-15. Idam adya maya labdham imam prapasya manoritham idam astidam api me bhavishyati punardhanam. आसु माया हतुर्शत्रुर्हनिस्य चापरम् अपि ईश्वरो अहम् अहं भोगी सिद्धो अहं बलवान् सुखी आद्यो अभिजनावान् अस्मि को अन्यो अस्ति सदा स्वमाया यक्षसे दस्यामि मोधस्य इति अज्ञान विमोहितः. Translation: The demonic person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my mother and my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.14.9. Araja ka bhayat isha karto rajat arhana. Araja ka bahat isha कर्तो राजात् अर्हणः ततो अपि असिद्धायां त्वदया कथां सया स्वस्ति देहिनां. Translation: Thinking to save the state from irregularity, the sages began to consider that it was due to a political crisis that they made Vena king, although he was not qualified, but alas, now the people were being disturbed by the king himself. Under such circumstances, how could the people be happy? Hare Krishna. Srimad Chaitanya Charit Madhya 5.69. Tabe ami kahila suna mahamati Tomara Sri Putra Janitira Naha Bisamati. Translation: I then said, please hear. You are a learned Brahmana, your wife, friends, and relatives will never agree to this proposal. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Shri Shri Radha Ras Bihari Bhagavan ki jai, Lalita Sakhi Vishakha Mata ki jai, Giriraj Govardhan Maharaj ki jai, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Gaurang Nitai Mahaprabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, morning chanting program ki jai, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Ekadashi Mahamahotsav ki jai. There is always in nature which we call as negative and positive. But in the spiritual world, there is nothing negative. Everything is positive in spiritual world. So why we are put over here in this material world is everybody wants to enjoy separately of Krishna. And that's why this material world is created. And That's why Lord says in the 16th chapter, there are two types of living entities, demon and devatas. So these people, whether it is demon or devatas, they will not live together at any cost. So wherever the divine qualities are there, the ghostly or the negative people will not like it. And they could not stay at that place. And that's why it is said, if we want to remove negativity in our life, we have to cultivate more positivity or the more divine qualities by chanting the holy name of the Lord, by associating with the devotees, by eating only Krishna Prasad. By that way, and service attitude, understanding, by that way we can remove the negativity in our life, in our house, in the society, and in the world. Unless and until we do not take up to proper chanting, proper reading of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and distribution of Bhagavatam, it is very difficult to get away from this negative or the ghostly type of people. You have to have more and more spiritual things in your life to get away from this ghostly types of thing. As far as Srila Prabhupada quote is concerned, this shlok comes from the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And this analogy is given by the Lord himself in the second chapter, where the Lord says that whatever the purpose of the well can be easily achieved from the flowing water of the river. Similarly, whatever your goal of life is there can be easily achieved when you take up the flowing water of Krishna consciousness bhakti. When you take up the bhakti process, it includes everything. It includes karma, it includes yoga, it includes hatha yoga, it includes jnana yoga, everything is there. When you take up to the bhakti process is like a river, and all other processes are like a small well. Srila Prabhupada quotes this verse of Madhavendra Puri that जब हम भक्ति करते हैं तो बहुत सारे लोग हमको पागल समझते हैं. They understand that this person has gone mad, but they do not know. And there will be many people who will say many things. But a devotee is very strong in his conviction. He knows the purpose of the life. He knows his relationship with the Lord. He knows that he is a part and parcel of the Lord. And to serve and love the Lord is the prime duty. So with that conviction, whatever the people will say, whatever the surrounding will say to him, is not affected in his devotion. And that is what Madhavendra Puri says. I'm not worried about this people. I'm not worried about that type of people. But my only concern is that how I can serve the Lord and the lotus feet. And lotus feet of Lord means also serving the Vaishnavas. At the same time, Prabhupada in the Leela Amrita is mentioning about the period, the changing period. It is the worst period when the Lord, in India got independent. Many people can remember how the riots happened between Hindus and Muslims, and lakhs of people were affected. Many people have to leave Sindh Pradesh and they had to come over here, and many people had to go over there, and riots were breaking out. So India का जो पार्टीशन हुआ उसी दिन हमारा मुहूर्त खराब हो गया था. हमारा मुहूर्त है ना, इंडिया बनने के टाइम पे मुहूर्त खराब हो गया था, पर कहते हैं अगर मुहूर्त खराब हो जाता है तो 50% काम खराब हो जाता है। तो इंडिया आज तक वो बर्डन ऑफ डिविजन इट इज बेरिंग, it is still bearing, and the problem is still persisting, and it will continue. This problem will continue, and this will increase because it is Kali Yuga. So in spite of all that problem, Prabhupada saw how people were killed on the street in Calcutta after the direct action day, August 16, where they were divided. So Prabhupada is trying to say problems will be there in the past, problem will be there now also, and problem will be there in the future also. We have to adjust and we have to stick to our Krishna consciousness bhakti, and we have to continue with it. As far as Bhagavad Gita quote is concerned, this is the mentality of a asura. आज मेरे पास इतना है, कल मैं अपने और प्लानिंग बनाऊंगा और मैं इतना इतना पैसा बना लूंगा. आई एम द एंजॉयर, आई एम द रूलर, I will do this, I will do that. So this mentality comes in Asura mentality. I used to say in my classes every time, before coming to Krishna consciousness, and reading this chapter, I had a different conception about Asuras. Asur का मतलब क्या होता है? दो सिंह, बड़े बड़े दांत. But after reading this chapter, I understood, ये असुर तो मैं ही हूं. I am the asura because I am having the same mentality. So at least we come to know our position, where we are living and why we are suffering when we read Bhagavad Gita. Because the way of our life is wrong. And that's why the karmas are created, and these karmas come back to haunt us in our life. Here again, we see the mentality of the rishis and sadhus. They are not worried about themselves. They are more worried about the people in general. And that is why we see all the rishis, all the sadhus, all the Vaishnavas, they struggled so that the future generation, they struggled so that the future generation and the people can become happy in this Dukhalaya. And they gave away, and here we see the same thing, that they had installed an unqualified king, and because of this king, the people were suffering. And somehow or other, they had to make a way out of it. And they will go to Vain, they will try to explain, and ultimately he will do Vaishnava Aparad, and he will be cursed and he will die. And out of the body, then Prithu Maharaj and Archi Devi will be coming out. First, the Nishad will be coming. So all these things will come in future. As far as Sisi is concerned, the younger Brahmana is speaking truth as it is. What has happened is not adding or subtracting. And that's why, because of that quality, Lord came from Vrindavan to Odisha, walking with him, because he was, determined to stick to the Satya. He didn't wanted to blame anybody, but whatever happened, he was speaking as it is. But on the contrary, we see the senior Brahmana, who is also a Brahmana, because of money, because of the aristocracy, he is speaking lie. So, in all community, you will find this type of people, but who remain with the Satya, with the Dharma, Lord protects them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.